Excuse me. Yeah, buddy. Let y'all slide up in here real quick. Give y'all a minute to slide in for this quick live stream. One like, zero watching. It's a fucking miracle. Y'all see my bags? I'm getting it set up. Rest of my stuff isn't coming until Thursday. The long distance movers are bringing the rest of my equipment. But I got some shit to get started. You know, I got my ropes over there. Got my pull-up bar with my ropes, all the way from I think a 6-ounce rope all the way to a 5-pound rope. And your boy still getting it. I got my bikes back there. You know what I'm saying? Got my teardrop bag. I love this thing for kicks. This thing is great to practice kicks. Mid-level kicks and high kicks. Of course, you can't do low kicks with that thing. My low kick bag will be hanging back there when that comes on Thursday. I'm just giving y'all a little tour of my gym / office out here in South Carolina, baby. You feel me? How y'all doing? Oh man, this is a lot of shit going on, y'all. A lot of shit going on. But we're gonna get into it just real quick. Y'all make sure y'all hit that like button when y'all come up in here. Say what up. James Millage was good. Nicolette Moore, how you doing? Excuse me. I'm enjoying South Carolina, y'all. I really can't lie. I mean, real shit, this shit, South Carolina, I love it, man. I went to another town in South Carolina, a little bit south of here, on Sunday. You know, I had a meeting with some people that I'm going to be doing big things with. You know, the content I'm telling you guys about has to do with something that went on in that meeting. Of course, I can't give you everything, but there will be some informational content coming from that. But let's see. Alien Believers was good. I do enjoy it. I'm an official South Carolina cat. You know what I'm saying? I can't change where I was born, which was in Inglewood, California. Can't change where I was raised, which was in LA. But you know what I'm saying? You can make a home anywhere as long as you are happy, comfortable, and your family's happy and comfortable, and all that shit. But yeah, and the people out here that I've met so far, the people that I've known before I got here, you know what I'm saying? Just everything that is going on for me in South Carolina is just a whole lot better. In a couple weeks, I'll be going to some land. I'll be visiting someone's land, and we're going to be shooting. You know what I'm saying? I'll be able to zero all my long sticks. You know what I'm saying? And that's going to be great too. And I'll probably be an official holder of a permission slip for CW. You know what I'm saying? Concealed weapon carry. Unfortunately, I had to, do that so the pigs wouldn't fuck with me if they saw me out and about. Anyway, what y'all up to? Canadian and proud family, finally. Oh, you're Canadian? Feel good about my brothers and sister patriots? Yeah. So, Justin Trudeau out here wilding, y'all, man. I'm sure you guys know that he's declared an emergency, and now he's trying to get full power to stamp out the Freedom Convoy truckers. He's already done some things. They've done some seizing. They froze some accounts, right? They froze about $1 million in some account, some bank you know, that's in Canada. They can't do anything to stop, go, send, give, send, go. They can't do anything to them. But when these people, when they take the money that they've been donated and put it in their banks, they're getting frozen. He basically said that anybody participating, they're going to be having their accounts frozen. You know, they're going to start arresting protesters for obstructing roads illegally, all this type of shit. He basically became a full dictator overnight. I mean, not even overnight. Over the last 2 years, he's really shown what type of leader he is, right? He's not really a leader at all. He's one of those bosses I was telling y'all about a while ago. You know, when I outlined the difference between a boss and a leader. And that's what you get when you get government, right? When you give government complete and utter control over your life, right? This is what it turns into. It's that slippery slope that winds up getting you screwed over by those people you gave your power to. You understand what I'm saying? And that's just really the reality. You know, look what happened. I think there was something happened, and in like 1 or 2 days, he banned assault weapons, right? Banned assault weapons. And what did the people do? They complied, right? They complied with the assault weapons ban. And now he has their foot on their neck, and there's nothing they can do about it. Because all they have are fucking 22 long rifles, right? That's all they got. Revolvers and shotguns. You know, in their minds, they have been weakened. But to a true warrior, to true freedom lovers, they wouldn't let that go down in the first place. Look what happened in Australia, in New Zealand. Let's particularly look at New Zealand. When they had that shooting at the I believe it was a mosque, right? The white dude went into a mosque allegedly and did whatever they said he did in Christchurch. 2 days later, 2-3 days later, all out assault weapons ban and a buyback program, aka confiscation. People complied. And now they got New Zealand by the balls. They got the people of New Zealand by the balls. These are perfect examples of why we don't need government in our life and why we shouldn't yield more and more control to them. We shouldn't yield any more control to them. As a matter of fact, we need to start taking power back. Real shit. Look at Australia. They banned assault weapons what in early 2000s or something like that. 100%. This is why our right to keep and bear arms is so important. I'm not going to say the Second Amendment, right? Even though the Second Amendment is the paper shield that has allowed us to keep some of the rights that we have left, more so than other countries, right? When they have that power over you and they don't fear their people in any way, this is what they can do. They can go around talking about how China, you know, Justin Trudeau said that he really looked up to China, right? Because they're a full dictatorship and they get shit accomplished with green energy and all this other shit. This is what coming out of Trudeau's mouth before he became the prime minister. Before he became the leader of Canada, they asked him, which country does he look up to as, you know, China. Leaders in green energy? These motherfuckers are the biggest polluters in the world. But he admired how they push dictatorship on their people to get shit done. And the idiots in the crowd clap for this fool. This is what you're dealing with when you're dealing with people that allow the government to control them, right? These are the voters. That's what these are voters that we're talking about here. The reason that these people are in power and are able to do what they want to do is because of people who vote, right? They try to tell you, oh, if you don't vote, you're part of the problem. You ain't got nothing to say, and you know you're not participating in democracy and this, that, and the third, and you can't complain about the shit that's going on. Actually, it's the other way around. If you vote for someone to rule over you, and you submit your fealty, that's basically what you're doing. You're saying, look, this is who I want to become my leader, my ruler. But if they don't become my ruler, because my vote didn't go toward the largest percentage, then I'll accept rulership from whoever gets elected. Right? That's what you're doing when you vote. You're saying, oh, I want my person to win, but, I want my person to win, but if my person doesn't win, I'm good with whoever wins. That's a problem, right? Voters are the bigger problem. Let's just be real about that. If you vote, you're part of the problem that we're dealing with today. And that's why Justin Trudeau is doing what he's doing. Because voters, they allow him to do it, right? They allow him to do it. They don't know what else to do with their life. They don't know. They have to be told what time to get up in the morning, when to brush their teeth. Those are the type of people that are going to keep us in chains. You understand what I'm saying? And it's up to us to break these chains. They're not going to break them. Some people are not going to turn around. They're not going to become freedom-loving individuals. They're going to continue to be statist. They're going to allow the government to do whatever they want. These are the people that are going to keep us from achieving our freedom. And sometimes you just got to do what you got to do to keep that from happening, right? Whatever that is, by any means necessary, like Malcolm X said. You can start, right? You start by pulling your kids out of school, right? Educating your own children, buying your own land. I always preach this stuff. Get some land, grow your own food, raise your own animals, build a community with like-minded people that want to do the same thing. A community of people that can barter and trade amongst each other. And they're just going to have to survive off of what's there, because the supply chain can be cut off, and you're not going to have certain things. You're not going to have the certain creature comforts that you're so used to today. It's just not going to happen. Let me see what's going on here. Kelvin Black was good. Yeshua's return, more like my boss, Trudeau, has become. Good to see you, Stamzilla, finally caught it live. Oh, that's what's up. Kelvin Black, always buy from a private seller. Yeah, if you can. Alien Believer says, not true, brother. My best friend has many guns and guns too. He's all legal. He probably got this shit grandfathered in. If you're safe, going to have no record. So what guns can you have? Alien Believers, can you own an AR pistol? Can you own, what can you own? What kind of weapons? I didn't say you couldn't have weapons, but there's certain types of weapons that you're no longer able to own in Canada. Which ones can you own? That's it. Because you can still own guns in New Zealand. You can own guns in Australia. But what types of guns are you able to have? Any restriction on your right, any infringement on your right to keep bear arms is too many infringements, even if it's one. Right? Even if it's one restriction. Right? Because even in the United States, we don't have all the right to keep bear arms, and that's a problem. There should be zero gun control laws, yet there's 20,000. That's 20,000 too many. If there was one gun control law, that's one gun control law too many. He can own many guns, but some of them probably got grandfathered in. Is it true that shut off communications? I've heard conflicting reports. Yes, grandfather in anything they had. What? Alien Believers, can you clarify what you just said? Look, there was a point in time I thought about, I was entertaining the idea of moving to Canada. And I looked up their gun laws. It's very, very difficult to own a fire, to buy one. Even the ones that you're allowed to buy, it's very difficult to process, and there's a lot of money involved that you got to pay. And there's certain weapons you can't have in Canada that you can have in the United States. Mini handguns, okay. I said assault weapons. Assault weapons, so-called assault weapons that he banned. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about handguns. Because you can own a handgun like that. They don't feel like that's any level of threat, right? But they feel like there is a level of threat when you have an assault weapon. And they're trying to change the definition of assault weapon. They're trying to update it. Every time you look up, they're trying to update it. Oh, does it have a detachable magazine? That's an assault weapon. That can be any semi-automatic pistol. That can be any semi-automatic rifle. Oh, is it semi-automatic? Boom, there you have assault weapon. So they're trying to do whatever. Yes, grandfather and anything they own is allowed if they keep it safe. What does that mean, kept safe? And how will the government know that you're keeping your weapon safe? How would they know unless they bust up into your house every day to make sure they're doing a weapons check every day? They're not going to know that. That's gas on it. So there's that with y'all know what's going on in Canada, man. Like, they basically have declared war on those truckers, okay? And it'll be interesting to see how the people react to that, because this guy's out of control, right? You know, when you have somebody like that, man, you just got to be real careful about how you deal with certain shit, right? Because he's the type of cat that will order your phones be tapped and all this other shit. Like, there is nothing stopping those people up there. I'm talking about the government of Canada, right? Aside from the people can stop them, right? But it's also important it's very important for the law enforcement to stop enforcing whatever they're doing. Because Justin Trudeau can declare whatever the fuck he wants. But if the law enforcement over there says, no, this is not right, this goes against all levels of human rights, and we're not going to participate, it's nothing. Justin Trudeau can say whatever the fuck he wants. It's the enforcers and the people that allow the enforcers to do what they do. No atomic machine guns unless owned by grandfather and handed down, but we hunters do have, and yes, we're on all free people. Okay. Well, the odds of Canadians owning machine guns before that were grandfathered in are very slim, but it is what it is. They don't really have much to work with up there. And that's why they're trying so hard to take away our rights over here to keep and bear arms. Because they want to be like Canada. They want to be like New Zealand. They want to be like Australia. They want to be able to say whatever they want, do whatever they want, lock people up in concentration camps, all this other shit. They want to be able to do that without much resistance. And that's what it is. But that's Canada, right? That's Canada for you. But man, I gotta tell you about this man, Tatum, man. No way BLM should be able to protest. Okay. Caucasian Christian for Trump. What is that? No way. No way BLM should be able to protest. Okay. What? Protesting, to me, This protesting to me is you crying and begging your government to stop oppressing you. That's what you're doing when you protest government. You're begging your oppressor to stop oppressing you, and it goes against your oppressor's interest to stop oppressing you. Protesting to me is useless. But as far as what people should be and shouldn't be able to do, that's not for a Christian, white, conservative, whatever, to determine. We are second to last to fall. Guess who's next if we fall? You're next, bro. Oh. No, I don't think so. The bottom line is, we have 350, no, my bad. We have over 400 million firearms in this country that are owned by private people. And I'm not saying Canadians are weaker or anything like that. It's just you guys have a different system up there, and you've allowed the government to have so much control over your lives, just like we did like we're doing in the United States. We're doing that now. But you guys, now you're to the point where this man is openly declaring himself a dictator, in so many words, and no one's doing anything about it, right? Just like, but if that happened here, it's not going to be the same thing. The Canadian people have different temperaments than here in the United States. Not that you're better or worse, it's just you're different. But we are second last to fall. I don't know what that means. BLM stops traffic and starts trouble. Well, BLM as an organization, I don't rock with them. I never did, because I knew they were full of shit. I knew they were poverty pimps. I never rocked with them in the first place. So you're not going to get any argument from me about BLM. I'm not a pro BLM cat. As the organization. Dalai Lama's tea was good. Notice how we are non-violent, but BML, and yous all allowed it? I didn't allow shit. I didn't allow shit. First of all, number one, no, the police allowed it, okay? The police allowed it, and because the government, right? Because the government stripped a lot of people in this country, in certain states, of their right to keep and bear arms and defend themselves. There's nothing, they're gonna kill somebody from BLM, which has happened, and they get in trouble for it. And then guys kill themselves because they don't have a defense. That happened to somebody who was defending his life, killed somebody, and they were coming after him. There is definitely a disparity in regards to how they treat BLM versus other groups in this country that do certain shit. But that's part of the political theater, right? That's part of the political theater. The Nazi, the mooch man. The mooch man, what are you talking about, man? BLM ain't no different than the Nazi protesters in Canada. What Nazi protesters in Canada? What I will say, those truckers, and those Canadian truckers, they got balls. Because you know why? Because they know they have the country by the balls, because they're relied upon to provide damn near everything the country needs. Because the people in these countries, in the United States and Canada, and other countries, right? Many first world countries, they rely on the government to supply goods, and they do it through the truckers. They do it through freight. They do it You know what I'm saying? Through the airlines and in the ships. Because we don't do shit for ourselves anymore. We're not self-sufficient. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't manufacture in this country anymore. We don't build our own shit anymore. Hell, even the shit that we use to build houses, we getting it from other fucking countries. Why? Because they're complaining, oh, well, we're cutting down trees. Well, out here, they cut down trees, they plant new ones. There's plenty of trees in South Carolina. They got more trees than people in South Carolina, in the South, in many parts of the country. But they want you to believe, oh, we're losing all the trees are going away and all this other shit. In certain areas, did are animals losing their habitat? Absolutely. And that's sad. But it doesn't have to be that way. But that's not mostly happening. That happened earlier in the history of this country, where they were trying to kill all these animals and shit. But that was before industrialization and during industrialization. Anyway, Joseph Francis Burton was good. Dalai Lama's tea. Those weren't BLM people being violent. Those were millennial white kids. That's most of the people that were doing the rioting were white kids, okay, from the suburbs that didn't even live in the areas. That's just to keep it real about who they was. Let's understand that before you start throwing the word BLM around, because there are many white folks that are part of BLM, part of Antifa, that were doing most of the violence. Real shit. So if BLM ain't no different than the Nazi protesters in Canada, the Mooch Man, that should explain why, if you want to go there. Trust me, the intel was there to prove that there were setups to make it look like BLM was violent. Well, like I said, BLM as an organization, I ain't rocking with, you know what I'm saying, Patrice colors and the whole lesbian angle and getting rid of the nuclear family. I don't rock with BLM. But that's true. There are a lot of white kids out there making shit crazy. Joseph Francis Burton says, BLM didn't march in my neighborhood. They could have, but no joke, I live in Little Korea, portion of my city. We're armed to the teeth. So no, we didn't let them. There you go. Arm yourselves. You know what I'm saying? We are fighting back and always fight back for free people. We are just the ones in it now. Should all fight for free and start getting together again. I agree. All I'm saying is black protesters get treated differently from white ones. How so? Again, if you're talking about those protests from 2020 and 2021, the riots, most of those were white people. So maybe you can explain it to me. Are you talking about because their political ideologies are different? Or what are you saying? Mooch Man, so wrong. We are people and like our forefathers fighting the good fight. Queen Lady was good. Yes, black people would have been demolished if they, oh, absolutely. Yeah, let's talk about how they would have been treated. If it was a bunch of black folks running up in that Capitol, you probably would, you know what I'm saying? If 100 black people tried to storm, because I don't believe there's no storming, tried to storm the Capitol, if 100 of them tried to storm the Capitol, there'll be 100 dead Negroes, or 50 dead Negroes, at least. That's just reality. So there is a difference. Sharky Rich was good. Mooch Man, hold on. You're a hypocrite like most today. What? I'm a hypocrite? Explain that. Is that what you're trying to say? Because you didn't spell it right. Hyper kits. That's what I'm reading. Shaky Rich says blacks knew something was wrong with BLM and quickly. Oh yeah, most black people with some sense don't fuck with BLM. How am I a hypocrite? That's what I want to know. Please explain it to me. I'm interested. What did Ricky say, Nicolette Moore? Please don't time them out unless they start spamming. I don't like censorship. Government bureaucrats don't understand the collective power working class like truckers actually have. A city can live without DI officers. Try living a single week without trash trucks. Oh yeah, that'd be screwed. If people don't know how to burn their own trash, let me tell y'all better figure that out too. Learn how to burn your garbage and limit the amount of garbage you create. Me, I've been doing little things since I got here to reduce the amount of trash I produce. Because I don't want to have to rely on the trash people. Because I can take, if I have to, I can burn my trash. You understand? There's certain things you don't want to burn. So you want to reduce plastics and shit like that. You want to reduce the use of plastics. So paper plates and all that shit, the paper plates that are coated with plastic, because you don't want to have to burn that, right? Dalai T says, I'm married and don't believe in God. Hey, believe what you believe. They stormed the Capitol in the 60s with rifles and nothing happened to them. Sharky Rich, what are we talking about? Black folks? They didn't storm the Capitol. What are you talking about? I need clarification. Oh, absolutely, Mooch. They get murked. You can serve in the military and not say, so help me God. Yeah, that's true. Black Panthers showed up with rifles, if I'm not mistaken. No, first of all, they didn't storm, the Black Panthers didn't, you talking about the Mulford Act, for the Mulford Act, right? That was in the 60s, when Reagan was the governor of California. They didn't storm the Capitol, they showed up with legally owned and legally able to carry rifles and just showed up because they had the right to be there with the arms they had. There was no restrictions on open carry in the Capitol building in California. So it wasn't a storming. They just showed up and they got there where they were supposed to be. I don't believe what happened on January 6th was a storming. What that was, they visited their fucking building that they pay for. We, the taxpayer, pay for that fucking building, and we pay your fucking salaries. So if we want to show up and say you fucking up to your fucking face, we have every right to do that because we own that shit and we're your fucking boss. Like we pay your salary. But with the Black Panthers did not storm anything. They showed up with their rifles in their hands because they had every legal right to do so. But they didn't start and running and they didn't barge into it. They just showed up. They showed up. They didn't storm it. Yes, they walked into the California State Capitol building, toting rifles and shotguns, quickly gathering national. But they didn't storm anything. They walked up in there because they had every right to do so. Didn't those so-called patriots storm the Capitol in Michigan? Where are you referring to, Kelvin? Alien believers, never mind, only hear separation and no peace, love, and I'm sorry, all. Separation and no peace? I'm not doing no separation. Well, I'm giving reality, and some people don't want to hear it. And that's fine. But I'm not on no separate shit. I'm not on no separation because we're all human beings and we all deserve freedom and we all deserve to live the life that we want to live without government interference. What I'm trying to separate is us from government. That's what I'm trying to separate. There's no division. When I'm giving you clear examples of how Justin Trudeau can go around loving a dictatorship like China and still get fucking elected and still become the leader of your country, of Canada, which I believe is a beautiful country. And, it took the truckers to do this thing and inspire a lot of Canadians and a lot of Americans. But what I'm saying is the point that Trudeau was able to get to occurred because the people of Canada gave up too much control over their lives to the Canadian government. Just like we're doing in the United States today. There's no separation. It's just on a different scale, on a different level, at a different rate. They can't just do it like they're doing it in New Zealand and in Australia and the United States, because we do have 400 million firearms that a lot of people are going to be willing to use to resist if the need arose. And that's what they're worried about. That's why they want to take the firearms away. That's just the reality. I support any man of any color protesting armed Capitol buildings. Yeah, you should be able to, why not? We own the Capitol buildings. That's our shit. If we want to show up with rifles, shotguns, and claymore mines, and motherfucking AT-4s, and rocket launchers, and tanks, as long as we not engaging in any violence, we should be able to show up in whatever fuck we want to show up with. But, they don't like that shit. So they create these laws where you can't show up you can't go into a federal building with the firearm, and you can't go into the parking lot of a post office with the fucking fire. Like, even if you're concealed carry, in some states, they don't even want you to go into the parking lot of certain, of a post office or a federal building with the firearm in your car. It's just stupid because they don't even want you, you know what I'm saying? It's a mental barrier that they're putting up with these fucking laws that they want you to obey. Vanessa Guillen. Sharky Rich Sean. I support separation as well. We as blacks thrived the most during segregation. What I don't agree with is forced segregation. I don't agree with forced segregation. If the shit occurs naturally, organically, so be it. Because people are going to naturally gravitate toward the people that they are most like and share culture with. There's nothing wrong with that. But forced segregation, forced ending of segregation, this shit shouldn't be forced. People should naturally, organically go to where the fuck they want to go in their fucking lives. That's just what it is. It shouldn't be forced. Here, hate government, all evil use dominion machines like those to America. Yeah, I know what you're saying about that. I can't really even say that out loud because they'll algorithmically destroy my ass. They'll give me a strike if I even read that. I still haven't forgot Vanessa Guillen. Refresh me on who that is, Ricky. The Moochman said Brent Tatum sure supports them Patriots who stormed, but he sure back because Brandon Tatum. Oh man, I was gonna touch on him. Pause. I was gonna speak about some of his viewpoints, the shit he's been saying lately. A lot of stupid shit, right? Like we should be thankful for white people and. Oh, you should be thankful they enslaved your ass and blah, 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 and all this, that, and the third. Oh, you shouldn't, it didn't start off about race. It didn't start out about, it's just the stupidest shit. Look, man. I don't even have the energy right now. I don't have the energy. Swept under the rug completely in America. You right, Ricky? Jay Miller said, "You're right, Snap, but I feel like the point Sharky was making that anybody can protest at the Capitol building. Anybody should be able to. They should be able to. That's how what it is in Texas. My 3 girls, 4626. And even your own CNN showed that truth 2015. What truth are you referring to? No, Caucasian Christian for Trump. No, Brandon Tatum is not a black man who respects white people. He is a black man who panders to white people. There's a difference. I respect white folks. He panders to them. I'm gonna keep it real. Whether they like me or not, whether they want to fucking pull their support from me or not, I'm going to speak what's real. You know what I'm saying? He panders to white people. There's a difference. And in pandering to people, you're actually disrespecting them, right? Because it's not genuine. Kelvin Black says we lose rights every 6 months. Shit, try every 3 months. Sharky Rich Tatum is somewhat brainwashed. Yeah, that's an understatement. Caucasian Christian for Trump says, but Tatum does respect white. I'm sure he respects some white people and he panders to most. He definitely panders to his base. A Mexican woman murdered by a black dude in the military. Cut up. Yep, and a black woman was, I mean, yeah, I'm not too familiar with that. I heard about something like that. I think she was in Texas. Very unfortunate. A group of white men in the military cut up and raped a black woman in I think it was in Iraq or Afghanistan. I mean, it's a tragedy no matter who does it, right? Whoever did it, they need to be strung up. Point blank and period. Doesn't matter if they're white or black. I don't even know the point of that. It's like, but you are next. I'm next for what, alien believer? Ricky, I have no respect for American as a Mexican. Okay. Black Swan B1 was good. But as far as Tatum goes, man, like, ugh. At this point, it's just like, it doesn't matter, man. It really doesn't. Like, if you can't see the penetration that he got going on, I don't know what to tell you. You just won't see it. You just won't see it. But he definitely is a panderer, and I don't respect it. I really. Tatum is right about Jesus being white. Caucasian Christian for Trump. I think you trolling now. You know what? I think Caucasian Christian for Trump might be the amazing Lucas. That's what I think. Oh yeah, that's your code for killing and assaulting us 24/7. Ricky, what in the hell are you talking about? Oh, Ricky, I have respect for people who respect people. We are all the same, and that's what's important. I am also Asian, and see how you're treating my other side. Tell me when to go. Nicolette Moore, I just don't do it. I can't. Unless they're spamming, I can't do it, mama. I can't do it. I hate censorship. Because I fear nothing these people have to, like, if they have some, whatever, speak your mind. I love it. People want to hear what makes them feel good. Tatum provides us, exactly. Caucasian, you know Jesus was a Palestinian. Caucasian Christian can't spell his name right. That's funny. Yo, got some trolls up in this bitch tonight, Timesman. Yeah, I see it. I think Christian, conservative, Christian, Caucasian Christian for Trump, I think that might be the amazing Lucas. That just sounds like something he would do. Nope. Just what the news is reporting, a video evidence. Well, if people kill people for whatever reason, they're evil, and if they kill people for no reason, if they don't have, if unprovoked and out of the cold blood, then they just need to die. The reasons can be important to a degree, but the person is dead, right? So if the person killed you and they did it in cold blood, you know, whatever motivated them to do that, they still need to suffer the same punishment. You understand what I'm saying? Whether it be because of race or whatever. I'm not discarding I'm not disregarding racial motivation behind killings. What I'm saying is, you know, it matters when people who are not black are killed through racial motivations. It seems it matters more that way than when black folks are killed, perhaps racially motivated killings of black people. No one wants to hear that really on one side, right? They don't want to hear that. All they want to talk about is the black on black crime, which is a big problem. Probably the biggest problem that we're facing as black people, but it doesn't detract from the problem of black people being killed by non-black people for whatever reason, right? Especially if a cop kills, like it doesn't matter if a cop kills a black person unjustly or a white person unjustly. The cop killed a person unjustly. That's what we need to focus on, right? But when that FedEx driver just got shot at because of what? He could have got killed. No one wants to talk about why that happened. Ricky, I don't even know what you're talking about. I have no idea where you're coming from. You're coming from multiple different directions. Like, I have like I don't do what you do to us in my country. Ricky, what do we do to you? Who is we? Who are you talking about? Who is the you that you're referring to? I'm no troll, been here years, and been around 58. Alien believers, I'm not talking about you being a troll, watching this crap, so trust me, make more than you know. What? Awake more than you know. I can't believe you're asking that question. LOL, look up how black people are acting in the US against Asians. Here we go with that. What about, okay. Well, I addressed this before in another video. The person that killed multiple Asians in Atlanta in the last couple years was white. Black folks didn't kill Asians in the last few years like that. White folks killed a white dude, mass murdered multiple Asians. Black folks didn't do that. I think a black person chased somebody through a train station, and another black person called some names. I mean, that happens to black folks all the time. That happens to white folks all the time. That happens to all different races all the time. I don't know. Play a knockout game with Asians daily. Favorite knockout game here with y'all in my country. Go ahead, Ricky. Do what you got to do. Black Swan B1 says, Ricky, let's talk about the Asians who killed blacks in cold blood. Yeah, that's happened multiple times. You know what I'm saying? Like, get the fuck out of here with that. J.J. Miller's, Ricky, my lady, you actually think that all blacks on Asians, besides some Asians, are hateful towards black? Yeah, it's you know, you can't speak lies to everybody though. Very isolated. Yeah, it is isolated. Sure. Yeah, it's isolated. Yeah, the only person that killed Asians was a white dude. Black people ain't going around killing Asians. At least I can go back to my country prideful. Whatever you say, buddy. Your racism is coming off strong. Like actually inept in thinking. 3J was good. Yeah, okay, very isolated. Not okay. That's how you write it off when people kill your people, huh? Oh, it's isolated. Okay. If you guys hate America so much, go back to where you really came from. Oh wait, and you don't. You won't accept. You won't be. Ricky. First of all, this is where I came from. Number one. This is where my ancestors came from. My ancestors have been here before the Europeans showed up. So that's not how it works, right? If you don't like something, go somewhere else. No, you can probably make changes in the place you're at to make it better. No, I don't run. 3J. You think a material quality makes someone something? Yeah. Racism, LOL. Crying, then acts all hard. Ricky, you the one who complained about racism, my guy, or whoever the hell you are. You the one complaining about racism. Ooh, what about the blacks and Asians? You the one complaining about it. We're adults. We don't need to impress no one. Exactly. I don't think Ricky's Brandon Tatum. Can't talk without cursing and name calling. Oh, this has been fun, y'all. But, it's all good. I enjoy, I enjoy the discourse. We need that. Keep us on our toes and, because everybody's not going to always agree with us. And I don't need people to always agree with me. I like having these discussions. You say something that I don't agree with, and then I can rebut. That's just how that's how the world should work. That's how it should work. There should, without any animosity, without emotion, without, censorship, people should be able to say what they want, get whatever they want off their chest. That's how it's supposed to work. And that's what I enjoy in this platform. That's what I accept and allow in my platform. I don't, people can say what they want, and I won't censor you. But I don't like spam because that's not free speech. That's just retarded. Sharky Rich says, Ricky, Mexico was invaded by white Spanish-speaking people when you were all native Indian people. Now you're Spanish-speaking Indians. Can't argue with the facts coming from Sharky Rich. Can't at all. While people are all human beings, we need to see the enemy, and it's not flesh and blood, it's governments and churches. I agree, 100%. 100%. The government is the biggest problem, right? That's the real problem, right? Government, come on. Mark Weatherby says, I'm a white guy, I just don't understand why we all can't get along. Can you help me understand, brother? It's just divisiveness. It's divisiveness being sold by certain individuals. And it's being sold by the government. It's being sold by entertainers. It's being sold by people like Brandon Tatum, who claim that they don't care. They don't want to hear about racism, but they're constantly, they're constantly bringing up race, right? And it's also being perpetuated by people, black entertainers who don't really give a shit about black people. They just want to help sow the division. Sometimes you have to use some discernment. Use discernment. That's why I can watch TV, I can watch the news, I can watch YouTube shit, and I can be entertained without being fucking retardedized by it. You know what I'm saying? I have discernment. I know that this is not reality, but it's good information. You can get a lot of good information from the bullshit they spew and from the propaganda. You just got to know how to decipher it and break down clues and shit. You know what I'm saying? And look at patterns and lies and inconsistencies. It's all in it. If you can spot those, you good. I know that racial division is being sold deliberately. I know that. CNN does it. Fox News does it. Trump does it. Biden does it. Kamala Harris does it. Charlemagne the God does it. Brandon Tatum does it. ABL does it. All kind of people. People that say, oh, you be a race bait. Like people who complain about people race baiting or pull out the race card. At the same time, you're talking about race too. You constantly find every reason you can to shit on black folks on the behalf of your white conservative base that you feel enjoys that shit. So that's also helping sow division because you're putting the false impression in people's mind about a certain race that confirms a bias, right? It confirms a bias for certain individuals. It's called confirmation bias. Somebody confirms what you believed, your bias, and that's what you roll with. Instead of doing your own research and looking and seeing and understanding that black people can live in there can be a majority black community, and it doesn't always have to be drugs on the ground and crack pipes and people shooting each other. I live in fucking Blythewood or in Columbia or whatever, South Carolina, majority black. And there's probably a very few pockets where there's, a lot of crazy shit going on. It's quiet around here. Black people live all up and down my block, all around the corner, all in my neighborhood. And we're not going around killing each other every day. It's just you gotta use your brain. That's all it is to it. Caucasian Christian for Trump says, yeah, and I came off of Boat from Africa? No, I didn't. I didn't come off of Boat from Africa. Sorry. Caucasian Christian for Trump says, so why don't the media accept Fox News talk about colored killing a white person? I'm pretty sure that the media talks about colored people killing white people. I don't know what you're trying to say there. Fox News is very accepted by media. They are the number one viewed news organization on YouTube. And YouTube is supposed to be anti-conservative, right? So that should tell you something. Trying to compare a word to actual assaults, you were all a joke. Then why are you still here, Ricky? If you're losing brain cells, why are you still here? Because you can't conceptualize what I'm talking about. You're suffering from cognitive dissonance. You can't conceptualize it, right? Because you can't put it together in your brain. You are burning your own brain cells because you can't conceptualize and put it together. Your wheels aren't turning. They're discombobulated. They're not spinning together. They're spinning like this, and in the gears in the center are getting worn out, and the springs are fucking flying. That ain't got nothing to do with me. Certain people will never change. Yeshua Return says they are all determined to sink with the ship. So save yourself. Yep. Mark Weatherby said, I may never understand how it is to be a black person in this world, but I think there is still a chance we can all come together, hopefully. I agree with that, Mark Weatherby. As long as you're willing to understand, it, that's okay. You don't have to understand it. As long as you understand that you can't understand it, and so there's certain things that you won't be able to, speak on with any level of authority. You know what I'm saying? You can speak on it, but you won't have any authority behind it because you haven't experienced it, and that's okay. Mark Weatherby, that's the first step, right? Accepting that you won't understand. You don't understand. That's the first step. But some people they won't even accept that. Yeah, news media are biggest racist people. Going, yeah, all media. Alien Buddha said all media today on TV are traitors to us all. Real shit. That's real shit. I can't even disagree with that. Jay Miller says everybody talk about race for real. Exactly. I never say like, oh, don't be race baiting in this. All I do is point out how people are hypocrites about talking about race baiting and they don't want to hear about race and they don't care, but they do the shit themselves. Of course everybody talks about race. Just don't, gaslight us and try to make us think, oh, you don't think about it and you don't talk about it. That's what these people do. No one's side is good. All traitors to humanity, period. Real shit. Black Swan B1 says, Tatum, ABL, and a few others are dangerous because they are spreading hate. They repeat dog whistle signals. I agree. Those same signals are what cause division. 100%. Yeshua Return says it's easy to judge someone based on color rather than someone's character. Yeah, because they don't know the motherfucker. They just rather use their prejudices to frame an idea of what that person is like. That's one of the biggest problems. James Miller says, nah, snap. Fox News is a bunch of leftists as well. They just love government when it benefits them or bootlicking the state. They're all statists. And that's the reality. But, I watch Fox News, I watch CNN, just to see what information they're putting out there so that I can do my own fact checking and see what I can come up with. Come up with my own decisions, make my own decisions about what I feel is going on. But, it's all good, man. I'm here for it. I'm here for any discourse. I'm here for any, y'all got something that I don't agree with, I'm gonna speak on it. And if I'm saying something y'all don't agree with it, y'all can speak on it, and that's how it's supposed to work. Tatum is learning, he will get there. He won't get there if it's genuine ignorance. If he will get there if it's genuine ignorance, but if he's being intellectually dishonest, he's already there. He just don't want to. He don't want to. He already came to the decision that he don't want to go there. Alien Believer says we all need to stop seeing color and see how governments are traitors to us all worldwide. No borders anywhere. We're all being taken down by the New World. This is real shit about race. I'm gonna say the realest shit about race that anybody's gonna tell you in my mind. Race is always there's always gonna be race. There's always gonna be race. As long as the government is in control, as long as media, the propaganda branch of the government, by the way, is in existence, there's always gonna be race. Race ain't going nowhere because it exists. I know people want to tell you, oh, there's no such thing as race and we're all human race and oh, white man in some island made it up. Look, the race is just a word, right? Race is just a word to point out the fact that people are different. People who come from different regions and have different cultures, they have different skin tones and different dialect and different the way their mouth is different because the way they speak their language. That's just the reality. Race is always going to be there. There's always going to be race. Race ain't going nowhere. The thing that we have to do, though, in regards to race, is understand that even though race is there, we're still all human beings and we still all deserve to be treated like human beings. We're all deserve to be treated well. We all deserve our freedom, no matter what color we are. But we have to understand that it's a delicate balance. You can't ignore race. You can't. Because a lot of things that are happening and are going to happen because of race. Redlining, districting, which is essentially the same thing. The redlining that's still happening today. So that it's more difficult for black people to own homes. That still happens. And it's not the conservative Republicans that are doing it, it's the fucking Democrats. Because it is about race. If you say, oh, it's not about race, racism ain't affecting you, then you're full of shit or you don't see it. It's there. It just is what it is. There are some people, they're gonna do certain things to certain people because of their race, or they're not gonna do certain things for certain people because of their race. That's just the reality. What we have to do is be above that. And it's okay to point it out. It's okay to point it out. If a black person is doing something racist to a white person, it's okay to point it out. If a white person is doing something racist to the black person, it's okay to point it out. If a Hispanic or a Asian is doing something to a black person or white person or vice versa, it's okay to point it out. It's important to point it out. But if people are constantly sweeping it under the rug and acting like it don't exist, that's when it becomes a problem. That's where the division comes from, ignoring the reality of the racial issues. There are racial issues, point blank period. This is the reality of it. Now, this government system, they want to oppress everyone that's not part of the elite class, but there is a disparity, and they perpetuate and push division amongst the races so that we're focused on fighting each other, so that they can maintain control and push their agendas. But that's race. That's race based. It has to do with race as well. And the elites, the elite class, or the dominant culture, sometimes they call it, the dominant culture of a certain society. If that dominant culture is made up of mostly white people, and they have the elitist mind state, and they're oppressors at heart, and they're tyrants, they're going to cause more tyranny and oppression toward the people that don't look like them. That's human nature. Sorry, that's human nature. So if the government of the United States is mostly made up of white folks, or the elitists of this country, or whatever you want to call it, if they're mostly white people, guess what? They're going to oppress the black folks to a larger degree. That's because they don't look like them, and they don't behave like them. They don't have their same culture and all that other shit. And it helps to keep them in control because they can sow division between the proletariat class, the two sets of proletariat class, whether black versus white, Hispanic versus black. You know what I'm saying? They'll perpetuate that. You know what I'm saying? And Margaret Sanger was a fucking Democrat. We know what she did, and we know that Democrats love Planned Parenthood. And Margaret Sanger was a eugenicist who thought black people were filthy and inferior, and that she wanted to get rid of them. So I mean, that wasn't that long ago. Margaret Sanger wasn't that long ago. You don't think she passed that ideology down to the next generation of elites? Come on, man. Let's be real. These are realities that we can't ignore. If we ignore it, then it's going to continue to be a problem. Mind of Jamal. I'll check it out, Mooch, man. I'm a half-breed, so don't care about race, just used for hate. Yeah, I mean, yeah. That's true. Alien Believer says, I'm on no side of the race problem you have. Okay, well, then that's you, though. You don't have a problem. But that doesn't mean that other people don't have a problem with it, and that it's not going to be a problem for you to some degree. Race and division is for the simpletons. Lenin called them useful idiots. Well, yeah, I agree. But it's there. It's there. And right now, a lot of those idiots run this country. Mind of Jamal, James Miller says, Mind of Jamal may be a little fruity to the right, like Terrence Williams. I don't know who Terrence Williams is. I've heard of Mind of Jamal though. Ellen says, mother's blue-eyed white woman, my father's a black man. So what's that make me? A person, period. Yeah. They're not mutually exclusive though. You're not either a human being or white or black. That's not how it works. But alien believers, guess what? You may feel like that, but people who encounter you that might feel a certain way about half-breeds, they're not going to feel that way. That's just reality, and it might affect you in some type of way. You know what I'm saying? That's the reality. Black Swan B1 says, Terrence Bang, people like you are shadow banned because you are about education and rights. Black people in America have to live with the fact that they're judged by their skin color first. Yeah, a lot of them are. That's the reality. So some people don't want to accept it. It's just real. That's just real, what it is. I don't if you talked about this, but the Super Bowl got me upset. All those elites maskless. Yeah, the hypocrisy is real, but it's not. I mean, these people are still gonna love them, right? People are still gonna love these people. They're still gonna love Jay-Z. They're still gonna love Kanye West. They're still gonna love this person, that person. All these motherfuckers. Listen, they did that on purpose. You understand? That was the biggest psychological operation I've ever seen in my life. That was out and open in front of your face. They are showing you, right? And look what Stacey Abrams did. Not wearing a mask, taking a picture with students all wearing masks when she's not wearing one. That's a message to y'all. I got it clear, loud and clear. Okay, I see the message. It is a clear message. Yo, do as we say, not as we do. It's a story old as time. It's a story old as time, and this is more evidence and more ammunition for us to use to get free. That's just that's all that's showing me. Okay, more people should see the bullshit. Mayor Garcetti, right? Mayor Garcetti was there without a face flag, and he is one of the people that implemented mandatory face flags inside buildings. They're showing you, look, we can do what the fuck we want to do, but you got to do what we tell you to do. And that should just open up just a new level of freedom loving to people. But for some reason, all they do is complain about it and say, oh, well, they're still going to buy their fucking albums. They're still going to fucking go to their concerts. They're still going to. That's how I see it, man. It was a clear as day psychological operation letting us know, fuck y'all, we do what we want, fuck you. Let's see. The Mooch Man says, Tyron, check out mine with Jamal and Jube. He's worse than Tatum. I will. He has to show your place to them. All right, guys. I got to get out of here. I got to get up. Got to get up early and get my workout in before I go pick up my mother-in-law from the airport who's coming to visit. Coming to visit South Carolina, coming to visit the house. Yeah. I'm really enjoying it out here, y'all. The elites being lying and laughing at us for years, decades, hundreds of years, centuries. JD Mills, I don't understand how folks don't see race, LOL, acting like they colorblind. I understand you not trying to be racist and treat folks the same, but it also lowly sound like you don't believe racism exists. Yeah. Look, silence is approval, right? Oh, I don't believe in racism, so therefore, I'm just going to ignore when racism happens. That's not helping anything. Sharky Rich, give it a year and you will be big. Man, I've been here for, when did I start? I can't do it on this channel. Doesn't say that. I'm not. This channel has been shadow banned. This channel has been, I can't even get monetized, right? They keep me at 1.75 thousand subscribers. This channel ain't going nowhere. It's dead. It's a dead channel. It was dead before. It was dead when I started. When they started I started and they started adding all these rules and all that shit. They're not pushing me. But I'm going to start other channels where I'll be doing different types of content, and I'm going to keep the more controversial shit on this type of channel in my backup channels to this channel. But I'm going to start new channels for other content that I hope will get us a little bit of traction. But that's going to be more informational, educational, things about homesteading and firearms shit and shit like that. I'm gonna be getting into that type of shit heavy. Let's see. It's in their music and movies laughing at you people along with all the political parties too. Yep. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. Much love. It's been good talking to you guys. Y'all Thanks for coming and enjoying the content. Yeah, we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep trucking. Shout out to those truckers in the Freedom Convoy. I know that something big is gonna happen because of that. You know, I feel like the people of Canada are gonna wake up. This will hopefully wake the people of Canada up to what type of person Trudeau is, and maybe we can start doing some real action. Maybe we can start making some real things happen. There's supposed to be another convoy in the United States going to Washington, D.C. We'll see how that works out. Yeah, but much love, like, share, subscribe, and I'm gonna holler at y'all later. And remember, let's keep marching forward toward freedom. Peace.